Hello and welcome to American Music, where we live our stories through the shared experiences of musical artists and storytellers. I'm Randall Keith Horton, your host, and today's guest is the young phenomenon, Mr. Solomon Hicks, who is a phenomenal guitarist, singer in many different styles. Welcome to the show. Welcome.
Oh man, it's great to be here.
Yeah, I've gotten to know Solomon a little bit, and it's just been really great just talking about his work, his music, and he has some fabulous music for us on our program today.
Yeah.
What we're going to do is take a peek into Solomon's background. We've prepared a little biography for you to, just get a sense of who this young man is. He's traveled internationally. He's traveled nationally. He's established in New York City. We want you to know Mr. Solomon Hicks, or King Solomon Hicks. 19-year-old guitar prodigy and singer Solomon Hicks is known by his fans in Harlem as King Solomon, or Little BB for BB King, or East Montgomery, reference to West Montgomery. Solomon has been playing the guitar for 13 years. He got his start performing on amateur night at the Apollo Theater. Solomon gained notoriety excelling in blues and gospel, jazz, and rhythm and blues. His performances include the United Nations, the 2009 U.S. Open, MetLife Stadium, and Madison Square Garden. Several newspapers and magazines have written about Solomon's extraordinary talents, including the Washington Post, the New York Daily News, and the front page of the Wall Street Journal, as well as his having been featured on ABC News. At 13, Solomon joined the Cotton Club All-Stars as lead guitarist. And as we all know, the original Cotton Club was where the great Duke Ellington performed with his orchestra from 1927 to 1933. At age 14, Mr. Hicks recorded his premiere album, Embryonic, with the Cotton Club All-Stars. At 18, he recorded his second CD, Carrying the Torch of the Blues. He is also the Audelco Rising Star honoree for 2009-2010. In 2012, Solomon won the Diffrenter Award for Innovators of Change. Well, we had a lot from that, and it's great, and we want to now get a lot from our guest. This is the young Solomon Hicks, and he doesn't mind my saying how old he is, or how young he is, I should say. How young. How old are you? How young are you? What is your age?
I'm 19.
19 years old, and you performed Germany. Tell me, where have you performed?
Last year I was playing in Denmark in the different regions, so like Odense, Aarhus, but just 2 weeks ago I was playing in Germany in Kaiserslautern for the Camgone Festival. But I've been to places like the Bahamas, Barbados, and that's pretty much what I've done so far, looking to travel more. I might be going to Paris in New Year's, but it's not sure, it's possibly. But yeah, from that nationally, so like things like South Carolina, Florida, all over
California.
New York. California.
And this show is broadcast in California, so the folks there will want to know, yeah, he's performed here too, yeah. And obviously in New York, where your home is, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the Cotton Club. The Cotton Club, what's the history of the Cotton Club?
Well, this is the Cotton Club that I play at. It's not the original one, but it's been around since about the 60s. And now they have big bands there, and actually I started playing there when I was just 13 years old.
13 years old.
And that's pretty much has been my home, my training ground, playing with a lot of the older musicians. Those guys have played with people from Count Basie to Duke Ellington. And it's been like, been in those bands, and even let's see, the Lionel Hampton Orchestra and things like that. So just being able to listen to those older musicians, just absorb some of their history from that. And I still play there. That's pretty much where I've got my most of my playing from.
And of course, ladies and gentlemen, the Cotton Club is where the famous Duke Ellington had his beginning in 1927 in Harlem. And so this is the extension, 21st century extension, the Cotton Club. Well, that's wonderful that you do that. We want to know what your influences were. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But we also want to know what music you're going to play now. Can you give us a sense of what the first song is about? What are you going to play? We want to hear your music.
Well, the first I'm going to hit them off with a great jazz standard by Jerome Kern called All the Things You Are. Yeah. And this is one of my favorite ones, and just the melody and everything, and just the chord change is one of my favorites. And we're going to start it off with the Badutters. Are you
The
familiar with
Baduttas?
do
No,
you know what the Baduttas are?
the Baduttas.
But it's like they're Charlie Parker and Dizzy Gillespie. That's their own special version of all the things. You want I'm playing that one, and the Baduttas are Badutta,
Badada,
Badutta,
Badada.
Badutta.
This is Mr. Solomon Hicks. And we are back on the set, and now I know what badada
Yeah.
means. That's really great,
Yeah.
man. And that came again from, was it
Charlie Parker and Dizzy Gillespie.
their interpretation or arrangement
Yeah, their own version.
of that song? Yeah, that was the great Jerome Kern's All the Things You Are.
Yeah.
I like your soloing, man. It's really, really great, sophisticated in a jazz way.
I try.
Absolutely, man. It's really great. And now I hear some influences in your playing. Can you talk a little bit, not much, about some of your influences in the jazz realm? Like, do I hear Wes in there?
Oh, completely. Well, Wes actually have his autobiography at home. Him, Grant Green. Definitely listen to a lot of the modern players, like Bobby Broom or Russell Malone.
Yeah.
Peter Burstein, Rodney Jones, he teaches at Juilliard, and got the pleasure to meet a lot of those guys and kind of took me under their wing. But people like Barney Kessel, Pat Marthani, just like trying to get a lot of those sounds and their ideas and incorporating into mine. But definitely George Benson. He's in the city this week, so can't forget about those guys.
Oh, right. Young man picking up the great sound of jazz, but also blues, and we're going to hear some fabulous blues now. One of the things I wanted to run by you a bit here is your names. BB something and something east, west, east, and what about
Little BB and
Little BB meaning Little BB King, is it?
Yeah.
And what else?
And East Montgomery, kind of like a play on words compared to West
Montgomery.
Yeah.
I mean, now, folks, you have to know who these people are in order to get this. So sort of hang out with us. We'll hip you, okay?
Yeah.
And who was the third one?
Well, my third stage name is King Solomon, but yeah, that's mine.
King Solomon, right? Yeah. King Solomon. Now I have one for you, okay? Solo Man.
Actually, no, I haven't heard that one before. Solo Man.
Solo Man. Yeah, I started to say Solo Man. Because your soloing is brilliant.
Oh,
so you're the for me. Now it doesn't have to go anywhere else. But you are the fabulous Solo Man. We're going to hear some blues solos from you on what song now? Johnny B Goode?
Yeah, by Chuck Berry, Johnny B Goode.
Chuck Berry. Okay. Let's talk about that for a quick minute. Chuck Berry, Johnny B Goode. Where'd you get the song? Just give me a sense of what you're doing with it.
Well, this song I've been playing it's been one of my favorites now from when because I actually started as a rock and roll guy. So anything like Jimi Hendrix, Santana, Chuck Berry,
that's
Little
where you
Richard.
Started?
Yeah, I started. Actually, it's a little hidden secret. I started with rock and roll. So I've been doing this song since maybe like 7.
Right.
And then when I do it now, of course, it's always the same change. But I find ways to flip it. After a while, you get bored, might mess up on something. It's like, hey, actually, that sounded good. I'm going to add this. So over the years, I've been adding my own little things to it.
Right.
Musically, just my own little ditties to it, just to make it my own, pretty much.
That is fabulous.
This is pretty much a 7-year worked on Johnny B Goode.
This is Chuck Berry's Johnny B Goode, but as performed by King Solomon Hicks. Johnny B Goode.
Down in New Orleans, way back up in the woods among the evergreens, there's still a old cabin made of earth and wood where lived a country boy named Johnny B Goode. He never ever learned to read or write so well, but he can play his guitar as I'm ringing the bell. Go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 Johnny, go, go, go. I said, now Johnny B Goode. He can carry his guitar in a gunny sack and sit beneath the tree behind the railroad tracks. Man, and people see him sitting in the shade, strumming to the rhythm that the drivers made. People would stop by and they would say, yo, ma, that little country boy can play. Go, 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 Johnny, go, go, go. 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 I say now, Johnny B Goode. On something, he'll be a man. He just might be the leader of some big old band. People coming from miles around, playing your music till the sun goes down. Someday your name just might be in light. So Johnny, be good tonight. Go, 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 go. Go, Johnny, 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 go, go, go. I said, now Johnny, be good. Yeah.
And we're back on the set again. And we just heard Johnny B. Goode performed fabulously by this young giant. I can't say anything more than King Solomon Hicks.
Oh,
Thank you again, brother. And I know that's a little embarrassing for you, but
nah,
okay,
nah.
no big deal. Okay, yeah.
That's what they call me.
That's what they call you. Okay, that's great. And I really mean it. I truly mean it in terms of what you've accomplished and where you are internationally and the sound. You're giving us a beautiful sound. I really, really appreciate it. Now, what's about Chuck Berry? What are we dealing with in terms of who he was? I know when I was a kid, Chuck Berry was happening. Little Richard,
Yeah.
Chuck Berry, and Fats Domino. Those are the three for us when we were. That was in the 50s.
Yeah.
Now you're taking this music and you're moving it to the next level. You're taking what was classic American music and you yourself are bringing it to the next level. It's not that young artists who are doing like hip hop and other music that's really current and created currently, and they're borrowing from older genres. You know, they'll borrow from the old jazz artists, or they'll borrow R&B, yeah. And it's a very African sound. That rhythm out of hip hop is totally African. And you know, I have questions about some of the meaning in some of that music, but still the music itself, you know, is the feel, man. Yeah. So what you're doing, I love, is what you're doing is that you're reaching way back and you're bringing the entire genre forward. You're bringing the blues as an American reality, as an American, how can I say, a fixture of American life into the next century as a young man. When we were kids, we loved it. I thank you for that. Now, we're going on into what's our next song?
I saw her standing there.
I thought, you know, of course I knew that. I knew what you were going to play, of course. Again, let me just say to the audience, the Beatles, ladies and gentlemen, and I saw her standing there. You know, when I was a kid, that's what's the song. What you are about to hear on that Beatles song, you won't know it's the Beatles until he's into the song. You arranged that song. This is amazing. Talk about it. We're going to be finished in a quick minute.
Well, basically just the story. I was working with the song. I wanted to come up with a way that was my own, but still had a blues sense, but just had more of a, I guess, Solomon stamp. And being more of a blues fan at heart, it's like, well, you know, they did it fast. So let me see if I can bring it down. And with the blues guitar feel, I just kind of put it in a blues form. It still kept the bridge. And
oh yeah, I have, you know, met with Solomon, gone to hear him play and perform, seen his performances on YouTube. So when I saw her standing there, I didn't know what the song was, and I'm a Beatles fan until he got into it because it was so beautiful as blues. We are now going to hear the classic Beatles song, and I saw her standing there, as interpreted in the blues by King Solomon Hicks.
Break it down. She was just 17. Lord knows what I mean. And the way she looked was way beyond compare. So tell me, how could I dance with another when I saw each other tight. And before too long, you know, I'd fall in love with her. So tell me how could I dance with another when I saw her standing there. Now break it down, guys. Well, my heart went boom when I crossed that room, and I held her hand in mine. Then we danced through the night. We even held each other tight. And before too long, you know, I'd fall in love with her. So tell me how could I dance with another when I saw her standing there. One time, when I saw her standing there. Hey!
Thank you very much, Solomon.
Oh man, thank
Thank you. It's absolutely beautiful. I saw her standing there. You can catch Solomon on Facebook, and you see his website at the bottom of your screen. Thank you for joining us. I'm Randall Keith Horton. We are American Music, where we live our stories through public television. Join us again. Hi, I'm Randall Keith Horton, the host of American Music, a talk, performance, and documentary series produced at Brooklyn College of CUNY, the City University of New York, in cooperation with public television station PBS affiliate KRCB in Northern California. Join us for our next project, which features Antoinette Montague.